Hello guys, hope you are doing good and welcome to another grand interesting video on your Leansimcorp channel. In the last video, we have understood about the concepts of task executor, task sequences, task dispatchers, triggers and multiple stuffs. And in this today's tutorial, we are going to create a 3D model using standard method, and then we are going to include task executors into that process. So we are going to create a 3D model today using task executors to understand task sequences. Okay. So let us start this, and I hope you are going to like this video till end of this video. Okay. And do not forget to subscribe to Leansimcorp channel for such exciting educational engineering content. Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create a 3D model as I discussed and understand its advantages and disadvantages once we are going to make that. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we have a source, queue, processor and sink, and we have named those accordingly. Okay. And now what we are supposed to do is we have already created a connection between all these three. Let us add an operator into the system, and this operator we are going to connect by the center port connection, okay, to the Q1. Okay, once that has been done, okay, what we are going to do is we are now going to assign this operator for performing certain tasks, and that is nothing but we are supposed to use that for transferring the part from the queue to that area. Okay, and if I just reset and run this, you should be able to see that the operator is traveling to the queue. So this thing which we discussed in the last video is now taking place here. So the task sequence generated, it's getting executed, and then these all things are into the queue of this operator, okay, into the task sequence queue. So we have added the operator. What operator is doing is sending this out there. Okay. Now, how we have done this is we have checked this use transport, and this syntax is assigning the task to the operator 1. The code current means that it will refer to the current object. Okay, here in this current means, and in this case it's queue. So the code center object 1 tells that the property to use task executor that is connected to the current object's first center port. Okay. That is what it means. If you want second, you need to change this 1 to 2. Now let us change the inter arrival time to 5. Okay, straight away 5 seconds. Okay, I'm just changing that to 5 seconds. And now let us see how this is going to run. So every 5 seconds we are supposed to get the part out. Okay, and then you can see a proper amount of queue being generated. Okay, because the operator is transferring this. Now what we will do is, let us do now the next step is that let us add an additional operator, okay, into the system. So I'm just bringing the additional operator. Let us change the color of that operator to blue probably, okay, so we can distinguish between this operator. Okay, now what has to be done is we need to use these two operators, right, and we cannot use it directly. The best part to use those is using dispatcher. So this center connection, which was for the operator 1, will now go to the dispatcher. Okay, and it has been taken care there, and from this dispatcher these tasks would be assigned to the operator 1 and to the operator 2. Now you see that I have connected this operator 1 to the dispatcher with its first port as output. So the first preference would always be given to our operator 1. Okay, and then it would be taken care to the operator 2. Now, what we are going to do is, basically the dispatcher is going to bring up the properties which we really need to be used in. Now what you can do is go in the dispatcher, there also we are going to have opportunities here which can be used in. Currently it's on first available basis. Let us run this and check how it works. So as I mentioned, our operator 1 is the first preference, so it will always be given to that operator. Okay, so if you want to use both of the operators one by one, so you need to make this first available to round robin if applicable, or round robin. Okay, the difference between these two I have already explained when we have this dispatcher been explained. have a look at that video which is already available on our YouTube channel. Okay. Now once you reset this and run, you can see that operator 1 and operator 2 are been supplying the parts on alternative basis, right? But if you could notice that the system isn't any more efficient it was with one operator. Lots of that has to do to understand how the standard logic has operators wait at the processor until it has finished processing an item. With this logic, it doesn't help to have an extra operator very much. So that's what, when we are using one operator and when we are using two operators, there is no change in the process efficiency because the queue is still getting filled up, and that can be manipulated or done greatly by using other stuffs. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add another processor, okay, and there we are going to do something that is going to be taken care. So transportation tasks sometimes become more complicated when you add more than one possible destinations. Okay. Now in this step we are going to add the second processor as well. Okay, let me add the second processor. So now we have say two machines to be processed onto the system. Okay, and this is what we are going to now apply and then try to see how it is going to impact us. Okay, now what you're going to do is you need to remove the port connection from the dispatcher, okay, to the operator. To remove that, you need to remove it by the same thing how it has to be connected. By the queue connection, queue shortcut key, you need to remove those. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to connect, okay, the queue to the processor, which is already done, and here also we are going to do this. And now what's going to happen is we are just going to have our first operator being used for transportation and stuff like that. Okay, and let us have a center port connection done for our processor 1. Okay, and then what we are going to do is for the processor 1, let us add this operator for the setup purpose of 5 seconds. Okay, and that is this what has been done. We are going to use this operator, and in the setup thing, now we are going to use this operator 1 probably, where you see the operator is nothing but the center object 1. So let me just reset and run and see how it works now. Okay, this places there, and then goes and does a setup there. Okay. For premium content, do not forget to visit our website Leansimcorp.com, where you will be getting all these premium contents available. So talking about what things you're going to get in, you're going to get in simulation solutions. You're going to get premium training classes for simulation stuffs. You will be getting 3ds model file support. You can buy modules. You get access to simulation case studies. You can visit our services. Also, you can visit the blogs which you're going to get. So I was talking about simulation solutions, right? You can schedule one-on-one session with us, for training and details. You can access our digital assets like learning center. Okay, so here comes the booking online appointment. Talking about training classes, you can access premium training classes. Once you are going to purchase our subscriptions, you will be able to access our training classes which are listed out here, and these are continuously getting upgraded, guys. Talking about blogs, here we bring in blogs from travel experiences, health, devotionals, like industrial engineering, personality development, simulation tech, and lot more interesting and exciting. So do not forget to visit our website Leansimcorp.com for premium content, blogs, and lots more.